My MS first materialised December 2012. Remember it well. Christmas Eve. Um, uh, all the family were there. Big group of us, and unfortunately, symptoms became a lot worse a lot quickly. Within 3 or 4 days, I was in Southampton General Hospital, and then spent couple of months with quite severe symptoms. Diagnosed July 2013, but unfortunately I couldn't see an MS consultant until the October of that year. But in the meantime, I decided that I needed to do something, and within a couple of days I was armed with quite a number of books on MS, one of which was Overcoming MS, and people often say to me now, how did you find out about the programme? And I honestly can't remember the moment that I did, but I remember reading the MS book within 2 or 3 days of diagnosis, and what I read struck a chord with me, because it was really the only thing that was truly evidence-based, in my opinion, that I'd read. And then within another week, I decided that I would adopt the programme entirely, something that I just felt in control of. And so we changed diet, started supplementing straight away, started my first attempts at meditation as well. And that's really how I've fallen into where I am today. My experience of the programme has been great. First of all, I guess like most people, I read the book and made, took my own views of what needed to be done. I think the first thing that we did was change diet, because that seemed relatively straightforward. The instructions in the book are pretty clear as to what you need to do and how you need to do it. We started supplementing, and then started meditating as well, and that really continued for best part of a year, and decided that, had an email from OMS about a retreat, and thought, didn't really think it was my type of thing, but for some reason I signed up for it, and that really moved things on a pace for me. Once I'd attended the retreat, it really, I was a year into the programme. It helped reinforce everything that I'd thought was the case, and actually I picked up a lot of new knowledge, a lot of goodwill, a lot of friends from the session, which has been ongoing since as well. And I don't know with hindsight whether I would have still stuck to the things. I think I would have done, because my willpower, I've got good willpower, but those things really have made a huge, I'm sure a huge difference. My life has changed considerably. Obvious changes, to the way I eat, the way I spend my day. I spend half an hour meditating. But those things do filter through to your life. I feel healthy. I actually feel healthier than I have ever done in life. I'm fitter than I've been. My emotional health is certainly much better. Certainly it's something that I hadn't paid any attention to before I got MS. I used to exercise, used to think I was relatively fit. We used to eat reasonably well, but the emotional side I'd never considered before at all, and that has been a major change for me. Thinking about the way I interact with others, perhaps spending more time with friends and family, less time on the day to day, on the treadmill of life. So I've slowed it down or stepped off it slightly. So yeah, there's been major advantages of where I've been over the last sort of 2 or 3 years. For people that are diagnosed with MS, I think if I could give them a book straight away and tell them to read one thing, that would be it, quite simply. I think if you're a rational human being, you just cannot argue with the way the evidence is presented. No, there just is no argument. It's overwhelming. What people choose to do with that information is up to them, and will be part of their own way of dealing and moving forward. But if they could just read the material, and I know the OMS are promoting the book and trying to get people to read it, but that would be my one piece of advice.